Okay, everybody, a few last minute notes on this section of the building the platform. You can see I have all my pavers in place now. When I was doing the initial layout of this, I had mentioned that I like to put my paver walkways, or whatever walkways I'm doing, extend them underneath the buildings. So with this in mind, I can change the whole lookout of this platform without having to try to rematch the colors a second time. And that's all simply by just going a little bit further than right straight to your buildings. When you do your steps, if you don't want to do paver steps, you can always leave it blank and paint them when we get to the paint sections. This is from my broken down cemetery section, and I wanted it to be as old and natural and broken down as I could possibly get it. So that's the look I was going for with that. If you don't want to go with the square paver look and would rather go with more of a cobblestone look, it's the same process. I create however wide your walkway is. Again, mine's 2 inches. And then just draw a bunch of circles and shapes. They don't have to be perfect because they're stones and stuff in there. When you draw it, you can butt the shapes right up next to the next one. Up here, I left a little bit of space. You don't have to do that because that'd be just dead space when it goes to cutting. Unless you want, broken out pieces or whatever to be showing. When you hit this with your engraving tool, by the time you put the engraving tool on there, it's going to create the gap, just like it did with the pavers. Another reason that I went with the pavers for my demonstration, if we go back to the one that I did during the demo, I cut this out of here. And then I cut it again. If you take that design, you've got block walls. So it was just a way for me to be able to show you guys how to make the walls and pavers at the same time. When you do your walkways, don't be afraid to make extra platform areas out. It's when I do this, when I look at this, I think, okay, there's water here. You're coming up the steps. You might want to be overlooking the water. I'm envisioning some kind of a fence here eventually. So I wanted the walkway, I wanted a little bit wider platform at the top, and then it goes down. Same thing at the top of my steps over here. Because I made such big, wide steps, I made a platform on the top, and then it narrows back down into the walkways to get to the buildings. One more thing on this, if you haven't already done it, you can see that I carved, and then I had left the space to put the steps in. Carve out the rest of your areas and tie in your steps with your rocks so it's all looks finished at the end. Next section of the platform is going to be painting. We're going to be painting the rocks. Pick 3 colors that go with the theme that you're going with. For instance, when I did my black one, I went with a straight black, a light gray, and then a gray that was in between those two for the 3 colors. With this, because it's part of my pumpkin patch, I'm going to be going for kind of an earthy type thing. So mine is probably going to be a combination of orange, burnt oranges and browns. So with that in mind, pick out your 3 paints. Touch up the rest of your platform. This is the last chance. If you see stuff on your rocks that you want to change and carve out and shape again, this will be your last chance to do it. So go give it a once over, make sure it's the way you like it, and then we will hit the paints in a couple of days. Stay creative, and as always, happy building.